the crows attack. The group of treasure hunters who ventured beyond the sluice gates, beyond the dam, learned, overheard the plans of a group of thugs, criminals, evildoers called the Crows. They have been dogging your steps throughout this adventure since Caramore, in fact, and now they are planning one final big assault on the company. They have prepared hordes of zombies whom one of the crows can control, and these zombie hordes are pressing in on the camp. We also overheard that they are using zombies to lure some of the golems to the camp as well, though your group doesn't have to worry about them. Your group just has to worry about a big group of zombies. Except for you, Halinka, you are not in the fight. Everyone else, you have a big group of zombies. The number is not important, it's just a bunch. And the endurance is 10. I need you each to tell me, well, first of all, I got to grab the die roller. That would be helpful. Let me grab that. I'm going to ask each of you to tell me how you are exposed to danger and then roll your weak point. I have put the die roller in the chat, so if you want to go ahead and log into that. If you've never used the die roller before, you'll just click on rolls, and then there is all the rolls are listed on the sidebar. Right now we're doing weak point, and so whoever wants to, I'll just go around the table here. Bertram, how are you vulnerable against these flesh eaters?
Yes. So Bertram is again late to the party and noticing that there was a horde coming. So I have to actually run back to grab my spear and my axe. So I come back and I'm winded and exhausted.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll a weak point. And if somebody will track them in chat, that'll help me a lot. Looks like you got a 6. Not the best weak point. I'll keep going. Vero, how are you exposed to danger?
Well, the last group of hunters sent back this cryptic message about the the crows or something that it didn't quite got a little garbled by their means of getting the message back to us. I think these bastards have me out kind of on my own, keeping watch for something, but they don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. So I think I'm a little isolated from the rest of the party.
Fantastic.
Just in my way around looking for trouble, but not quite sure what I'm looking for.
I love it. Roll weak point. Let's see what you got.
That was a 3.
Fantastic. Vendra, how are you vulnerable to danger?
So this might not be noticeable to the other characters, but Vendra seems like the zombies are drawn to her because of her aura. They perceive her like as a magic user and as a big threat, so they're coming for her.
They're focused on you in particular. Well, probably because the person who summoned them recognizes you as a threat, right?
I've got a 3 as well.
Okay, a 6 and 2 3s. We'll keep going with Revel.
Yeah, so Revel was with the party who was in the lake, the dried lake, and so this day he has had to fight a golem, fight some kind of mummies, help against zombies. So he's just tired.
You ran here, told everyone what's about to happen, and then the fight broke out. Yeah. So go ahead and roll your weak point.
True.
Fantastic. And Asbel.
Asbel has been so busy the past couple of days between doing the scouting trip and just generally healing people at camp. I think that she completely slept through people trying to stir up a warning. And it's kind of that moment where she hears something outside of her tent, and that's when she's waking up.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll weak point.
Did it roll? Okay, 3.
And Alicia, since we're meeting you for the first time, tell us how you're exposed to danger, and also just tell us a little bit about what you look like, what your deal is.
Okay. Alicia was a kind of a strapping big guy. His occupation is woodcutter. but his background is usurped royal. And his drive is arm the resistance against Lord Hefir's tyranny. And he's got skills in beasts, strength, trails, and commands. He's a busybody, so he was either maybe out wood cutting or whittling or performing some task for the camp, and so was busy with other tasks when he heard the news about the attack, and then rushed to help.
Fantastic. Roll weak point.
2.
2. All right. And who had the rat fever condition? That's Vero. Very good. Let me think on the rat fever condition. I think because of rat fever, I'm going to give you a second weak point. Vero, go ahead and roll a second one, please.
Oh boy. Suppose that is deserved. That's a 4.
So you have a 3 and a 4. Fantastic. This should be a pretty easy fight because there's so many of you. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or easy, mechanically easy, but it could be painful in terms of ruin. So we started a combat 6, and this is an endurance 10. So I think I'm gonna give Alicio the honor of the roll since Alicio's brand new here. So you're gonna go to combat and enter 10, and then we'll see. We're looking for 10, a total of 10 on the 2 highest dice. There's a question about lowering the endurance. Yeah, you can. If somebody wants to try to lower the endurance, you just can't participate in the combat roll, but you can do that.
Yeah.
If I did my dryad ritual, would I be able to try and convince trees to help make kind of like roots difficult terrain on
I like
zombies?
that. Yeah, I like that. That's really good, actually. Let's see how that goes. So I'm gonna handle the what could go wrongs and stuff. I think what could go wrong here is that the trees have. I think that they've become mad because of the presence of the undead and because of
sorry.
Oh, what was that?
I accidentally rolled a ruin roll. Sorry.
Because I think because of this, like the death and the destruction after the dam burst and all the presence of like just the rotting dead and the walking dead now, the trees have gone mad and they will turn against you, making the fight harder if this roll goes poorly. Okay. Do you have a skill that will help you out here?
I would like to use my skill that I currently have because of Rias. He read my stars, and I currently have a skill in tactics that I want to try and do some battlefield control.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's good. All right. So you have 1 die, and actually, let's open up the Devil's Bargains. If anyone has a Devil's Bargain, you can go ahead and make the offer.
No matter what, since you've interacted with trees several times already, you will get tree-like, like some bug skin. That's what I picture.
I think that'll be reflected in a permanent condition.
How about no matter what you are in that difficult terrain, it affects you as well?
No matter what, the crows are somehow empowered by the Witch of Navask.
Oh.
Okay.
Any other offers?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like you got 3 choices.
Okay. Sorry. The second one was okay. I think I'm gonna go with the last one because it's really fun. Okay, so this will be a risk roll. And sorry. Okay. So I get the 1 light, 2 for the Devil's Bargain, and
then a dark because of the ritual. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Looking for a hit lowers it by 1, a 6 lowers it by 2.
Okay. Four.
It's 4 dark. What's your current ruin?
3.
So your ruin does go up. So think about what that looks like. But you also lower the endurance to 9. You cannot participate in the combat roll, so you don't have to worry about your weak point. But it'll be a combat 5 now, but the endurance is lowered down to a very manageable 9. So with that, Eliseo, go ahead and roll combat 5, and we're looking for a 9 on the 2 highest dice.
So I'm rolling 9 dark die.
Yeah, combat or 5s. It'll be you'll be rolling 5. We're looking for a 9 on the 2 highest.
Gotcha.
Oh shit!
Oh,
oh boy! Horrible roll.
Oh boy!
Whoa!
That was awful. So that's 3 2s, a 3, and a 1. Who has weak point hit?
Oh my god! I got hit 3 times.
You better be ready to mark armor. The first round of the combat is not great. Let's start.
Even though I'm not a part of this roll, would I be able to spend one of my strands of fate to re-roll this one?
What does it specifically say on the text?
Re-roll an entire dice roll.
You can spend the strand of fate to let Eliseo re-roll it. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Strand of fate is spent. Go ahead and roll combat 5 again, please, Eliseo.
All right, here we go. Crossing fingers and toes.
That's much better.
There we go.
Beautiful.
2 6s, 2 4s, and a 2. They're defeated. Did anybody take any hits? Got a couple of hits in there.
I took 1 hit.
These zombies are waterlogged. Their flesh is falling off of their skin. They glub out water as they rise up, and they just try to claw and bite and rip and tear at you. We're going to start the combat narration with Asbel telling me how what the ritual looks like and how that helps here.
Asbel is looking out over the like this just massive people kind of all advancing on each other. And you see she pulls out her staff, and as she kind of does a little bit of a spin where she extends to her full height, and she's like turning into a tree as she's turning, and she begins to call the trees to action, and calls a little too loudly, and is heard by the woman who has cursed her. And so I think that's the point where the witch kind of intervenes and pumps up a little gas to the crows. And I think the condition I'm going to take with my ruin is going to be like an arcane burn.
Yeah, that's great. What are the trees doing?
You see the trees, there's all these great tall beautiful trees, as all in every direction roots rip up out of the ground and start to kind of crawl up and over throughout these zombies' legs, kind of immobilizing them. And so these two parties that were advancing on each other, suddenly it's the company is advancing on the zombies getting ready to attack.
That's fantastic. Everybody will go around the table. Just if you're getting hit or armor is getting hit, just work that into your narration, but smash some zombies. We'll start with Bertram.
So Bertram's going to have to definitely hit some armor here because he took 2 hits of ruin, which puts him at 6. So am I out, or do I need to mark ruin 2?
Wait, you took how many hits did you take?
I took 2 because I had a weak point of 6.
And you have no armor?
I haven't marked any.
Oh, you could just mark armor to absorb the hits.
Yeah. Okay.
It absorbs all of them. Yeah.
Oh, delightful. So I think we see Bertram being headstrong and a bit foolish and tired, but he runs straight out and he takes out a handful of these zombies in more close hand-to-hand combat, axe on one side, staff on the other. as the rest of the crowd comes up behind him.
Vero.
Vero's off a little ways from the rest of them as the zombies start approaching, and that ends up working in his favor because he's able to peel off a group of the zombies and get them to chase him, which he'll do sort of taunting them and moving nimbly through the underbrush. But I'm going to try to lead them back around and lead them into the clutch of animated trees. Succeeding in doing so, they all get torn apart by the trees, but Vero also gets kind of tangled up in the trees and has to disentangle himself from his cloak and leave it behind, being ripped to shreds by the limbs of these animated angry trees as he escapes unclad back into the group.
Alicio.
So Alicio also runs in headstrong, probably near Bertram. He's cleaving through the zombies. He's got a skill and strength, and using his family heirloom masterwork longsword. He just starts cleaving through the zombies. He does take one hit. One comes up behind him and just with kind of an attack on the back of his head. So I marked off the sturdy helmet. Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Vendra.
So I think several zombies are coming for her, and as you described, they are drowned zombies, so they're swollen and gross and easy to pop, basically. So what she does is she goes on her knees and goes for their legs, so they fall down basically when you take off a limb or two, and then they're on the ground, less mobile, and she takes her shield and smashes it and smashes their heads in.
Fantastic. And finally, Revel.
Yeah, so Revel just takes his sword and starts whacking at the zombies. One of them starts to bite. He dodges, but he still gets like punched by the zombie, which messes up his nose, but he kills it off.
Treasure will be added up over the course of all 5 encounters, and then anybody who participated in an encounter can stake a claim in whatever treasure is gathered from this attack. For now, let's see how much this encounter contributes. Vendra, go ahead and roll gold 9, please.
While Vendra's doing that, can I also spend a hunt token? I'm sitting on a few hunt tokens.
Oh, yeah, if you just want to spend them to like just say that you're like gathering valuables among the zombies, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Pick him over like the Brosh from Les Mis.
Yeah. I'm not going to define it, just gold is fine.
Yeah, the zombies didn't have any gold just then.
Nothing. All right, so 0 is being contributed for this encounter. Thank you all, everyone. Everyone but Halinka, please leave the call. Halinka, you were getting ready to respond to the hue and cry of combat when you turned and found yourself suddenly somewhere completely different. You're in some kind of underground place, a catacomb perhaps, a series of there's like bricks overhead, there's walls, there's all kinds of twisty corridors. You have no idea how you got here, but this is where you are. And you can hear someone in the darkness stalking you. You can hear their heavy breathing. You can hear them as they drag something heavy that scrapes across the stone as they're following you. What do you do?
I think Halinka will hurriedly try to find like some way out of this place, and I think she eventually will like hit like a dead end, or just after a long time, just who's there? Who is it?
Stepping out of the shadows is a hulking man. He is very tall. He's like 9 feet tall, maybe taller. He is very wide at the shoulder, incredibly muscular, and he has a black leather hood over his face. And you can see underneath the hood a bright, shining smile that glimmers in the faint torchlight of this weird space. And he's dragging behind him an enormous mattock, like a big hammer. It's huge. The mattock would easily pulp your torso if you took even a single blow from it. And it raises the mattock and gets ready to bring it down on top of you. What do you do?
I think it's just going to start like diving out, and, like bobbing, weaving, like trying to back away from this guy.
Unless you have a plan for escaping these catacombs, you got to fight him.
Yeah, eventually she just realized that she has to like kind of get under his reach.
Fantastic. Please tell me how you're exposed to danger and roll weak point.
Halinka has fought a lot of things bigger than it, but she's always had help. This is her first like one-on-one.
Indeed. Go ahead and roll weak point.
That is a 5.
He is an endurance. I think he starts at he's an endurance 10. So you need to roll 10 on a combat 1. Good luck.
Fingers crossed. Nope, that's a 4. So.
All right. Give me the first part of the combat as he tries to swing this thing at you.
Yeah. In a very Dark Souls fashion, he just kind of like swings his mallet, and Halinka like leaps kind of over it, trips a little bit, stumbles, and just tries to like get like closer to him that he can swing the mallet.
Fantastic. Give me a combat 2.
That is a 7. No.
And weak points hit.
Hit. Oh
no, it was 5.
Yeah,
sorry. No,
yeah.
sorry. Keep it going.
Let's see. Yeah, I think she tries to like just climb onto him and try to like climb onto his shoulders. It just like kind of scrambles, falls back down on her feet. It goes again.
Combat 3.
3. 5, no hits. Again, just kind of like almost like circling around as he takes this like big circular swing. And then
Yeah, and I think he's like smashing the walls, like as you're kind of like dodging underneath them, just like, I mean, like this mattock hits a wall and just crumbles like the masonry, right?
Yeah, there's a half second where she freezes and then focuses back on him.
Combat 4.
That is 10, and weak point is hit twice.
You got 3 5s in there.
Oh, I do. Wow.
Go ahead and describe how you defeat the thing.
Yeah, I think after just to maintain this metaphor, just backs away, and he closes the distance and grabs Halinka by their cloak, pulls, and she tries to like quickly unlatch it, leaving it behind, pulls out her carved knife, and then just like hits like where there's a bit of neck exposed beneath the mask.
Nice. The thing like crumples to its knees, falls down flat, and the hood falls off. And you can see that the face is the face of the golden, shining youth. And then you just snap out of it, and you're suddenly surrounded by your fellow colleagues and company members attacking zombies, running back and forth. You do not get to do a gold roll, but you do get to clear that condition. And excellent. I will see you back at camp.
Okay.
The crows attack. There are zombie fights breaking out all over camp, waves of them appearing at every boundary. Some of you have already fought off a number of them and are rushing to join others fighting against the hordes. Regrettably, Cassian, you are not. You are not in the combat. Everyone else, please tell me how you're exposed to danger and roll your weak point.
I just got back from the sluice gate.
Like Revel,
Warning
you
people.
ran here and told
Yeah.
everyone, and then the fight started.
Yeah. So I'm out of breath. My weak
Rias,
point is 6.
Yeah, if you'll track them in chat, that'd be great. Yeah, Rias, how are you vulnerable?
Rias just got out of a session of courtisanery with Asbel, and is maybe still a little not exhausted because that was the condition that got rid of, but still coming out of like a meditative state.
Good. Revel, you've really had a long afternoon.
Long afternoon, and it keeps going.
It keeps
doesn't
never
stop.
ends. Roll weak point, please.
5.
5. We got 2 5s and a 6 currently. Alicio, you just came from a zombie fight.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll weak point.
1.
1. Same thing, Vendra. Anything to
Yeah, I'm
add?
just exhausted from fighting. And my weak point is 6.
Fantastic. And Asbel.
As she shakes off her tree form, she looks and sees her hand is like burnt, and she's not ready to do magic again, but she does remember her staff is a big stick, so she's gonna use that as her weapon.
Indeed. What's your weak point?
A 3.
A 3. Ria Silsmont. So this fight, there's a bunch of zombies. These are waterlogged zombies, and there's no specific number of them. You're just fighting off a bunch of them. Your cluster, your fight is made extra difficult because you've garnered the attention of one of the actual crows. This is Gar Zaguan. And Gar Zaguan he's around the perimeter of the fight. He's not even like joining the fight directly, but he's launching arrows into the fray. Indeed, he's launching arrows that have basically like little round satchels on the arrowheads, and when they land, they explode in plumes of quite poisonous cloud. Rias, there's 2 complications here. Rias, you have to have a second weak point. Please go ahead and roll another weak point, please, because you are marked by the crows, and in particular, you're marked by this guy.
My second weak point is 4.
Fantastic. And there's a special rule here. This first combat round, Gar is peppering the battlefield with these poison cloud arrows. Anybody whose weak point is hit, you don't take any ruin, but you do take a condition called poisoned, and in the next combat round, you cannot block hits with armor. So let's get to it. This is going to be a combat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're looking for 10 total on the 2 highest dice.
So could I try reducing endurance?
You sure can. How do you want to do it?
Throwing, like, using the grease to make a firewall in
a perimeter.
us.
Yeah. That might also burn away the poison gas, right? Which would be helpful.
Hopefully.
I like that. That's going to be that's essentially kind of ranged combat, I guess. Like, how many uses of your grease do you have?
I still have 5.
Okay. So decide how many you want to put in. How many you want to risk. I think it'll be 2 uses per each. You can risk up to 3 marks, and it would be 2 uses each for each one that gets, or you can you take away a use basically for each one that you lose. So how many do you want to risk?
Let's use 2 of them.
Okay, so it'd be 3 light total, and I think you got to do a dark, right? Because this is just a really dangerous situation. So.
Fair. So this is risk. So you said 3 light, 1 dark.
Indeed.
Whew. Okay. So 6 dark.
Oh yeah, and you didn't actually use up any of your grease, not an appreciable amount of it anyway.
Okay.
So that lowers the endurance down to 9. Give me that part of the fight first, Revel. What does it look like when you set these? Because you had a little bit of time to prepare. Like, what do you do here?
Yeah. Basically, I see the zombies coming. I run with the grease, forming like a path in between us, and I just use my gauntlets to create a spark and set fire to it. But I do get a bit of the burn back from the explosion, which
Nice.
I remain.
You cannot participate in the combat roll, but you have lowered the endurance down to 9. Did you also get burned a little bit yourself since you got a 6 dark on that? Fantastic.
Yep,
Take
exactly.
burns as a condition, in addition to your ruin increase. All right, this is a combat 5. Basso, you have the honors of doing the combat 5. We're looking for 9 on the 2 highest dice.
Is it combat 5 or combat? No, it is combat 5. Never mind. I
5,
don't know
yeah.
why I was doubting you.
Yeah, casting's not the 5.
Sure you won't take that out on me later. 5. Oh, are you kidding me?
What a shitty roll. Oh my god, that's horrible.
Welcome to Amanda's rolling.
That's how the first fight was, dude. The first fight had this really horrible roll in the beginning.
So we got a 1, 3 2s, and a 3.
Let's see. Who's taking hits here? Eliseo, Asvel, maybe just Eliseo and Asbel. Is that right? All right. You do not defeat the things. If you're taking a hit, your ruin does not go up. You cannot mark armor, but you are poisoned. Please take a poisoned condition. And the next round, you cannot block hits with armor. Here we go. This is going to be a combat 6. Ria Silsmont, please do the honors.
Oh boy. So yeah, this combat melee, this big fracas going on, and we see Rias not taking a animal form. In fact, I think he's standing up kind of above the rest, and using his bow and arrow and just plunking at the horde, trying to thin the numbers. And that's why like we see these like pop 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 explosions, these puffs of gas, and Rias is just not either like not near them, or because they're singling him out, I think he might notice this and like even fall back a little bit, and has enough time to sort of get to a higher ground and plunk at them from there. And he's going to start scanning, looking for where these arrows are coming from.
Yeah, thank you. So I was trying to jump ahead, so thank you for describing your part of the fight. Vendra, please describe your part of the fight.
So previously we've seen Asbel interacting with the trees, and I think when Vendra looks around, she sees a tall tree and there's some rope on it. And basically, since she used to be a pirate, she's doing some swashbuckling, swings to some higher ground, decapitates a zombie or two, but doesn't do much because there's so many. But now she's in a better position, and she didn't get hit by the arrows.
Fantastic. Asbel.
Asbel is fighting these zombies. She's just using her staff, and she is doing fine enough with one zombie, fending it off, fighting it, until another one comes in and bites her on the shoulder, and she swings around and knocks off its head with her staff before continuing to fight.
Eliseo. Oh, you're muted, Eliseo.
Eliseo tries to do what he did at the last fight and just wades into the zombies, swinging his longsword, using his strength, and he's fine with that with the zombies. But then one of the poison arrows plunks down near him, and he sniffs in the poison, and it starts backing up, coughing.
Basso.
Bazo is standing near the line of fire on the perimeter and trying to get a bottleneck started, a bottleneck of the zombies as they come in, and smashing the faces in with his warhammer of any of the ones that manage to get out of the bottleneck, in hopes that we can sort of limit the number of zombies at any one point.
Fantastic. All right, now we're going to combat 6. Rias. If you got poisoned last round, you cannot block these hits with ruin. So if you want to back out, you can back out. That is on the table. If you back out, you have to give your weak point to someone else. Is anyone backing out?
All right.
Can we back out and still maybe do an action to try to
No, you just run. You're just
oh
running.
no, it's just running.
You're
Like
just,
and then you're out for the
you are
whole thing.
cowardly running away
Okay.
from the fight.
Yeah. Okay, not backing out.
Combat 6.
Combat 6. There we go. It is a 9.
A lot of hits in there though. A 1, a 2, 2 3s, and a 5 and a 4. Did any poisoned people take hits?
Yeah. Both of us.
Oh, your hits are not blockable by armor then, just know that, because the poison's getting you even if the zombies don't. But they're defeated, so let's turn the tide here. Vendra, kick it off.
I'm using from the high ground I'm currently at. I'm using my what's it called again? My weighted net, and by that I'm able to trap some of the zombies, and basically that clocks them in a way because they stumble and the others coming from behind get slowed down as well.
Fantastic. Rias.
I will be marking my shield. And so I think what we see is we see Rias in that high point. And I think from his perspective, we just see like, I don't know what the fantasy equivalent of is, but there's this like glint like way off in the forest, and it comes rushing at Rias, and we see this like smack of something against his shield and a puff of smoke. And we actually see Rias's shield, I think, like again, kind of start to deform and melt a little bit, and he just throws it off to the side. But when the smoke clears, he's standing there and just staring down at this sniper.
Nice. You will be able to finish the sniper off too at some point, or if you wish, Rias, or whoever wants to. Revel, go ahead.
Yeah, so Revel is like skewering zombies with his lance but that leaves him open to attack, and another zombie comes in to bite him. He blocks with his gauntlet and punches the zombie down, but his gauntlet is now in tatters and destroyed. So marking my gauntlet off.
Fantastic. Asbel.
Asbel is fighting for her life. She has this bite in her shoulder, and there is so much arcane energy in her right now that it just starts lashing out from her body as it tears itself apart. I have hit 6 ruin.
Eliseo, keep it going. You're muted, Eliseo.
Sorry. I am poisoned and I took 1 hit.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not sure what that.
you just describe what it looks like when you kill some zombies, but also are hurting as well.
Okay, all right. I'm poisoned. I'm coughing. I'm trying to kind of back up and put a little bit of distance between myself and the zombies attacking me. Um, I've got a command skill, so I'm just going to say, that I start kind of rallying the people around to try to get us, instead of fighting singly, having us more as a unit working together, to kind of create a wedge and work through the zombies as a team together. And in the course of all of that, I end up taking some bites from a zombie or two.
You just increase your ruin by however many points, however many hits you took on the dice. Increase your ruin by that number. Who hasn't narrated yet? I guess Basso, you're the last one, right?
Yeah, I think Basso sees Asbel fall, and she was his confidant, his friend, and he goes into a mad frenzy, just smashing the skulls, bits of gray brain matter all over the camp. There is nothing left of any of these zombies. They are smashed into smithereens, into tiny little pieces.
This wave, at least. Rias, finish off the sniper. What does that look like? This sniper who's tormented you for the whole camp, the whole adventure, basically, or close to it.
So I'm gonna add a slight bit to the end of my last narration. When Rias tosses his shield aside, it comes with a flurry of black feathers, and from Rias is these little tiny black dots beginning to spread out, and they grow into these feathers, and these two giant black wings just erupt from his back. He launches himself into the air, and we don't see him for several seconds until a dark shadow just dives down into this spot in the grass that only he could see. And there might be some screaming from that little chunk of woods.
Fantastic. Vendra, go ahead and roll a gold 9. The gold is tallied for the whole 5 encounters and divided up later by everybody who participated. You're up to 0 currently. Let's see what this encounter adds to it.
Mm-hmm. It's 0 again.
Thank you. Everyone but Cassian, please leave the call. Cassian, you were responding to the alarm, trying to get out, to take up arms, when you quite suddenly found yourself somewhere different. You're suddenly somewhere in a building, maybe underground. It's unclear. It's a series of twisting tunnels. There's masoned walls overhead and to the sides. Someone built this place, whatever it is. And there are torches in sconces periodically here and there. You don't know how you got here. You don't know why you're here. Well, except there is someone following you. You can hear, some paces behind you, a very heavy and whatever this thing is or whoever this person is, they're following behind you. Their footsteps are heavy. Boom, boom, boom. And they're dragging something behind them. There's a on the stone. What do you do?
Cassian draws their dueling saber and spins around. Who is following me? Why am I here?
You are emerging from the darkness into the dim light is this enormous man. He's very tall. He's like 8-9 feet tall, maybe more. It's hard to tell the way the light distorts things. He's massive, very wide at the shoulder, muscular, bare-chested, and has a leather hood over his face. And the only thing exposed of his face is his bright, shining smile in the torchlight. And he's dragging behind him this enormous mattock, this huge hammer thing that, if you were struck by it with a direct blow, would probably pulp your torso. What do you do?
I look them in the eye. I've met you before, haven't I? You wore a different face.
The smile gets wider. He takes another step forward. What do you do?
I want to run screaming in terror.
That's an option. You can try to escape this place somehow, or you can fight it, I guess.
Ooh, I am going to uh, attempt to use emotes to calm this thing down because it seems like it's really not in a great place mentally.
That's good. Read what does the ritual say?
Heighten or dampen the current emotions of all in my presence.
Fantastic. This is a risk roll. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that the only thing that's going to happen if you fail is you have to combat it.
Okay.
Do you have a skill or piece of equipment that will help you get that first die?
Rituals.
Fantastic. And I'll offer you a devil's bargain. No matter what, it takes you some time to escape whatever this place is, and you can't join the rest of these encounters.
I'll accept.
You have 2 light dice, and you have to do a dark die for the ritual.
Light 5.
You succeed. There has to be a slight complication. The complication is normally, in this encounter, you would get to clear the honey-skinned youth condition, which caused you to be here. But in this case, you don't. You are still an object of fascination. You can add a dark die and try for a 6.
No, I'm going to take it.
Describe your magic and describe how it calms the situation so you can find your way out.
Cassian would normally rely on their bees in this particular instance, but drawing upon the notion of the honey-skinned youth and this tie of bees and honey, Cassian stands and raises their hands to the face of this thing, even as it is being so incredibly menacing. And I wash over their head and go, shh. I'm going to comfort you as you did me once. You deserve that.
Fantastic. It will just back off and you can wander through this space until you'll eventually just like be back in camp somehow, and at the end of whatever happened after the end of the ambush, I will see you back at camp. The crows attack. Fights have been breaking out all over camp. Waves of zombies, clutches of the undead being repelled, swarming from every boundary. And some of you have run from those fights to join. And a group of you is all running across there's a wide shallow water expanse, trying to reach another group that is sort of engaged with the big group of zombies, and you're all running to try to get to them to help out. Obeha, Foret, you are not. The 2 of you are not in this encounter. Thalis, Basso, Halinka, and Bertram, the 4 of you are running across this wide watery expanse, and you step into one of the traps of Zoloshika von der Linth. She has laid zombies underneath the water. They're laying down like landmines. And as you run across, they animate and try to grab you and hold you down, pull you down, and delay you, essentially. There are going to be 2 risk rolls. One of you is the principal roller. One of you is the helper, as needed. If either of the rolls fails, the whole encounter fails and is a loss. If any of you takes a ruin as a result of this, the encounter's not lost, but you are trapped long enough to where you cannot join the future Zoom calls for this. And so I need to know in group 1 who's the principal roller, who has the best skills or equipment for avoiding zombie landmines.
I've got a good one of beast.
Okay. I have endurance, but that's more of just
Endurance is pretty interesting. I'm curious how beast is the principal skill here.
Well, we could not consider these zombie as beasts.
They are. I think I consider beasts like animals to be beasts.
Okay.
Yeah. I think endurance makes sense though. Like you're just trying to like power through them.
Right.
If you want to be the first principal roller, Thalos. Bertram, you can be the helper on that roll if you want.
Certainly.
Halinka and Basso, who's your roller?
I also have endurance. I'm brawn. I'm not brains.
Halinka, do you want to be the helper on this?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right. So my die rollers, you should have the text of the risk roll in front of you. If you need, I'm not sure if it's in the sheet or not. It might be. Oh yeah, there's a reference sheet tab. If you go there, the risk roll is what we're doing. We'll start with Bazo. Bazo, please take us through the risk roll.
Well, we are attempting a very risky task. So what I'm hoping will happen is that we don't get blown up by these zombie mines.
Well, they hold you. They just hold you in place.
Yeah, that's also a thing I
They
don't
physically
want to
explode.
in my imagination, they're also exploding. But if anyone has ideas as to what could go wrong if this doesn't work.
Obviously, you're going to fail the mission, but also I would say that you and your helper get pulled into a mass of zombies, and you got to fight them. I mean, it's not just a matter of escaping; it's a matter of fighting them as well.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like they are either partially buried in mud or water, and they'll just put you down in it, and you will start to like suffocate. Because...
Yeah.
Well, that is definitely bad, and I don't want that to happen. So I imagine there's going to be a dark die here because this is a very risky endeavor.
Indeed, it is.
We are risking our bodies, if not our minds. I can also take a light die because I am skilled in endurance, and I can power through these mothers. I am interested in upping my light die, so I will take a devil's bargain if anyone has one to offer.
No matter what, you lose something from your equipment. My choice.
Oh, you're mean.
That's also what I was gonna say.
I will offer a different thing. No matter what, I think one of the zombies is just gonna get like a hit on you. You will take ruin.
Well, ruin might happen because of the die roll anyway. So I like the idea of maybe like combating one no matter what. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other offers?
I'd like to throw in that right before or right as one of these zombies grabs you, you recognize them.
It's horrifying, but I love it.
Oh, I was going to battle a zombie, but now I want that one.
Any other offers?
Those are great.
All right, you got those. So it sounds like you're going with that one.
Yep.
Two light,
Jason,
one
would you
dark.
like to decide who the person, the zombie is that I recognize?
I might just ask you, and then we'll kind of figure out what the ramifications are of that. So
Fair enough. All right, 2 light, 1 dark. I rolled a 6 light.
Hey, there we go. So Thalos, you can help the other roll now, since your help was not needed on this one. Mechanically, though, you can still describe what happens. Bazo, kick it off. Like, how are you? Describe how you and Thalos are pushing through here.
I am still on a rampage because of what happened in the last bout of zombie fights. I am still angry and in grief, and I am not paying any attention. There is no finesse. There is only smash, and I am stomping and swinging my warhammer wildly at anything that moves. And I think I do look down, and one of the zombies reaches its hand up to grab my leg, I look down, and for a split second, I swear it's Asbel. I
Oh,
swear.
that's so good. Actually, I forgot Halinka's the helper here.
Yeah.
That's really good. Oh, Halinka, describe how you help push through.
Halinka is uh, frustrated and distracted for their own reasons, but eventually she'll snap out of it and see one that's about to go right for Bazo that he doesn't see. They'll give a quick whistle, and the terrier that follows her will just like bite at the neck of it, taking that one out.
Nice. Thalos, Bertram, same thing. You are stepping on zombies underfoot that are trying to grab you and hold you in place. Thalos, take us through the risk roll.
All right. Well, similar to Bazo, Thalos is also using endurance, and he has a crushing warhammer as his primary weapon. So as soon as we realize that we're being grappled, his first instinct is to reach for the hammer and try to break the limbs of whatever is grabbing onto us. Probably slogging through mud and splashing and making a great mess of things. But eventually we'll try to see if we can break free long enough to make it to the other side.
I love it. What could go wrong? I mean, I'm going to say the same thing. You both just have to get into a combat with these, but if anybody else has any other ideas.
No matter what.
Well, these are fail conditions.
Fail condition, sorry. You could, theoretically, you could just swing a little too far and your weapon just flies out of your hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any other what could go wrongs? Take us through the dice, Thalos.
All right, so be a risk roll. I've got obviously the dark die. I've got a light die for endurance, very similar. I don't know if I want to mark my crushing warhammer, but I'm definitely open to devil's bargains.
I mean, you get one light die for the endurance and then devil's bargains. Yeah. I actually like the one that we kind of suggested from last time. Like, no matter what, you have to do a combat roll on one zombie.
Okay.
I was going to suggest that if Jason didn't.
Any other offers? So far, that's what it's looking like.
I think because your background is a liberated prisoner, no matter what, your previous crimes will come to light to the company.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Looks like you got two choices.
I like that one. I like that. Gives a little bit of narrative depth for Thalos.
Make a condition or just put a note somewhere on your sheet so we don't forget that. Okay. And you have 2 light and 1 dark.
Okay. So let's do that. 2 light and 1 dark. There's a light 5.
Fantastic. Let me think what the complication is going to be. I mean, you've got a helper in Bertram. The complication is going to be that I'm just going to play with my fail condition and say I'm going to say you both got a fight one, unless Bertram, you want to add a help die.
I would love to.
How are you helping?
I think as they are pushing their way through, I'm kind of like behind them, pushing further like into their back to kind of help like be kind of a steam engine behind him to help push him through the mud.
Fantastic. Roll a single help, please.
4.
Okay, did not help, in fact, but you can still add a dark die and try for a 6 if you want, Thalos.
No, I think we'll just fight our way through.
Yeah. Fantastic. Bertram and Thalos, you have... I actually love the idea of... I kind of love the idea, Basso, of the Asbel zombie. You didn't have the nerve to crush it, and she's now shambling up behind Thalos and Bertram. They're going to have to fight the Asbel zombie, unless you do something first, Basso.
I would like to throw my weighted net at it. I couldn't crush its head, but I might be able to slow it down.
Is that a weapon or an item?
It is a weapon.
Interesting. I'm just going to give you a free reduction in endurance. I don't even need you to roll. This is going to be a very simple endurance 5 with a tangled up zombie who is a former company member. Bertram and Thalos, please just describe how you are exposed to danger and roll weak point.
Okay.
I'm stuck behind Thalos right now, so my vision is kind of completely like blocked from the first half. Not to mention we're probably up to our shins in thick mud, so mobility is for me is at a null.
Yeah, and I think as I'm trying to cleave my way through, there's a good chance that I'll end up being caught up in that same net.
Fantastic. All right, Bertram's got a 6 on the weak point. What's yours?
Thalos?
1. Fantastic. Bertram, go ahead and roll combat 2, please.
Sorry, Jason, I think you kind of cut out a little bit.
Oh, go ahead and roll combat 2, Bertram.
Go. 4. 6.
6. That is enough to defeat it. And no one got hit.
Nice.
Bertram, start.
I feel one of the zombies grab my leg from the side, from my right side, and I turn and I use my axe to chop it kind of directly at the base of the mud. And right around then is when I see the other zombie coming up behind us, and I just swing and get the side of my axe stuck right in its face.
Finish it off, Thalos.
All right. I think seeing Bazo with a little bit of angst in their eyes throwing the net at somebody, there's a look of recognition. And Thalos will just for a moment kind of meet that look and then stave the zombie's head in with his warhammer.
Fantastic. Let's see if there's any treasure to be found in this scramble. Halinka, go ahead and roll gold 5. We're adding it up across all of the fights and then dividing it up later. Currently, we're up to 0. So let's see what we got, Halinka.
Hey.
On a gold 5.
We got you.
Hey, there you go. Okay, so the pot is up to 2. Everyone but Obeha and Foret, please leave the call.
All right.
Obeha and Foret, you were running across that watery expanse, trying to reach the far side and the combat going on over there. When the both of you suddenly found yourself in some kind of like circular arena, maybe. There's a high circular stone wall all around you. And there are people looking down at you. They're sitting in like amphitheater seats, and they're all wearing gold masks with big wide smiles on them. And they're cheering you. They're cheering you on while the two of you are there in the center. And the shining youth is sort of over everything. He's there centrally among the crowd, lounging on a divan. And he says, I'm so happy to see you both of you who are so close to me, so close to my heart. And now, the entertainment. And I think there's a lot of like cheering going on. And the two of you are there. And you start to realize that the crowd expects the two of you to fight. What do you do?
I think Ford actually will turn, nod to Obeha, and draw his dueling saber.
Obeha, what do you do?
You really do not want to fight me, but I understand this proclivity. And I think like I am like looking through pockets really quickly to just throw like a vial of acid for it.
I mean, what are you hoping to accomplish by doing that?
I think more or less ring for its weapon, just so like, because I imagine more like this is like probably going to be like a close encounter, and I'm not really good at that, so like this is just like to reduce the deadliness from dueling saber Jason.
Interesting. Ultimately we are at a contest roll, unless the two of you have a better plan. So,
well, I think Fort was setting up a ruse, because I was going to say, remember, it's just like when we fought those Lithic Knights.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, like this is what are we
like dimension shift out of here?
Oh,
okay.
Good. Got it. So
All
how
right.
are we doing that?
God, I think
Ford has no way of knowing what.
I think because like Obeha, because like again, Obeha has been sort of established as a magic caster, because like I wasn't sure whether or not you were actually going to fight me, because I was prepared for that. I stick my staff into the ground, and I start sort of raveling around the staff, my twine and whatnot, as though I'm going to cast like a magic spell around for it, sort of keeping my guard, quote unquote, against for it.
So you're kind of putting on a little show, like for it. Maybe you're occasionally dancing in with your sabers or whatever, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to give Obeha time to cast Unravel.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Take us through the risk roll, Obeha, with help from Ford if needed.
What could go wrong?
It doesn't work, and maybe the Shining Youth grows impatient and something really bad happens.
You shunt us all into the ballroom of the Lithic Knights and crowd and everything. Like,
you're just like caught in this extra dimensional hellscape. Well, gather your dice.
Okay. One light die for rituals. One dark die for it's a ritual. Devil's bargain.
No matter what, it takes you both too long to return from wherever this space is, and you will not be able to join the last two Zoom calls.
Wow. No matter what, something is lost between dimensions.
Like
something
equipment?
you don't want. Something you don't want to lose. Could be equipment.
Sounds like it's my choice.
Yeah. Oh.
Memories could be.
Okay. I will. Listen, I am marked armor earlier today. I will take your Ray's Devil's Bargain. God damn it, Ray. Both are really nasty.
You've got 2 light and 1 dark, and help for it if you need it.
Mm-hmm. I do not need it. 6 light.
Fantastic. I'll let you each describe part of the scene, though. So for it, how are you buying time for Obeha to do this?
I think knowing that Fort's inherently deceitful and Obeha is not, it's like it's taking too long to get the message across to Obeha. Get us out of here, as I'm like, parrying and
about to chuck acid at you.
Right. I'm like, no, use the magic. And don't get hit.
Obeha, describe the ritual.
Listen, I was panicking. I think, again, raveling and unraveling, it's big, it's showy, because like no one is quite sure about what sort of magic that Obeha is trying to cast. Like, is something that Ford has magic? Who knows? And it's like specifically zoning in, targeting him, maintaining direct eye contact with him, and eventually, sort of like in a quick swift motion, pulls the twine to quickly unravel against Obeha's staff, removing them from this arena.
Fantastic. When you arrive back at the camp with the fights breaking out everywhere, you will note, Obeha, your amulet of protection did not make the trip with you.
Oh,
You both do get to remove the Shining Youth conditions, though. So, and I will see you both back at camp. The crows attack. The zombie horde is getting thinned out pretty well. The company is definitely turning the tide. But the necromancer and the crows have one more move to make. There are two small groups of zombies approaching the camp from two different directions. They're not the problem, though. What's the problem are the two golems that have been following these zombies for miles directly to camp and have now arrived. This is the golem of Saif and the golem of Kabibona Khan. The golem of Saif, I'll snap a little picture so you can see what we're looking at here. Honestly, kind of a cute urn-shaped golem with, we've seen this one before. It's got in its face, there's a 10-sided crystal. And then we have the golem of Kabibona Khan, which is the 12-sided one. This is two different combats. They're both endurance 11. I need to know who's going where.
I will move for the closer one. If they're both about the same, I'll go for the one with the 10-sided crystal.
All right, so Thalos over to the Saif.
I'll join Thalos.
Mm-hmm.
Halinka will go towards Capibona Khan.
Fantastic.
As will for it, because I think I fought one of these before,
Yeah.
or at least seen it.
Obeha, Alicio.
I think Alicia will go for the D10 one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a plan with the D12.
What is the plan?
Well, last time we encountered with the D12, God, oh fuck, I'm bad with the names, but I hold on, I can look at my equipment. Horror guest managed to communicate with it. I have a magic rock from Horgust, representing the alliance between me and Horgust. I wonder if I could pull a very similar shenanigan that Horgust pulled off to try to convince the golem to just go away.
Oh, that's an interesting plan. Bertram, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have this White Widow's powder that I might want to enact. So we'll see what Obeha.
Yeah, the White Widow's powder. What does that do? Remind me.
It gives me +6 dice in a single combat, and they do not hit weak point.
Oh, they're just like a free 6 dice. Oh, intriguing. It's according to Company Commander Nervon, it's the most deadly substance in the world. So deadly it can even destroy constructs. How intriguing. So you're all pretty well armed for this fight in your different ways. Obeha, I think the best you can get out of this is probably to reduce its endurance. And so we can do that first. This can count as a ranged attack endurance. The only fail condition is it doesn't work. I think by doing it, you remove yourself from the combat if you're okay with that.
Okay.
And I just need to know you have this crystal thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just one light, one dark. That's it.
Okay. Let's see. A 6 light.
That'll do it. What does this look like? I don't think you like it doesn't go away, but you stay it long enough for the others to be more effective against it.
Yeah. Typically, because Horgus said that once you take it out of the pouch, it will start glowing, and then eventually the glow will fade away. So you can't use it at inopportune moments. And like, I do remember that, and I take it out, and I have my staff, and I think, well, wizards have a tendency to stick crystals at the top of their staffs. Why don't I stick it there? And like it shines in like a decently bright light, nothing blinding or anything. And like I'm just sort of like trying to like distract it with its head. It just like sort of poke at it and just like sort of like, ooh, follow the shiny little object type of thing.
Fantastic. So which one was that?
That is the D12 column.
Very good. The endurance for that fight is now reduced to 10. And Bertram, which one were you going to attack with the White Widow powder?
The first one with the
D10 one, the Saif.
Yeah.
If you're using that powder, probably you don't need any other help, right? So if the others want to join the fight against the D12 one, I think that probably makes more sense, but everyone can make their own decision on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you're fighting the D12 one, the one that Obeha is holding at bay momentarily, please tell me how you're exposed to danger as you rush up to it and roll weak point.
Would it be possible for Thalos to use a ritual?
To reduce the endurance further, or as combat as a weapon?
As a weapon. I've got the Crucible ritual, and I might want to try to melt it.
You could use it as a weapon, absolutely. So tell me how you're exposed to danger and roll weak point.
Yeah, I won't have any weapons or defenses up while I'm enacting a ritual, so that pretty much makes me vulnerable.
Fantastic. 1. Halinka.
So as Halinka runs up from the previous encounter, Halinka did not know that Asbel died. So there's even more that's kind of pulling their focus. Yeah. And my weak point is 6.
We have a 1, we have a 6 for it.
My weak point's also a 6, and I think 4. The last time he fought one of these things, he was gripped in the throes of rat fever and doesn't really. He remembers like running up its arm and diving off onto it. And that seems insane right now. So he's fighting like more conservatively than he normally would.
Do you still have rat fever?
No.
Okay.
But he doesn't have a good memory of the last time he actually fought one of these, because that's when he did have rat fever.
Indeed. And finally, Alicio.
Alicio is fighting through the effects of the poison from the last fight that he was in. So he's a bit sluggish coming up and engaging.
Fantastic. And what was your weak point?
3.
Thalos, why don't you do the honors? You have a combat 4. We are looking for a 10 on the 2 highest dice.
How do we feel about adding 4 more to that with Wand of Fire?
How do you all feel about that?
You can't hit weak point.
Yeah,
these can hit weak point.
Thalos is pretty busy with his ritual, so I'll defer. But
I mean, if you can get into the next delve, we may need it there.
That's true.
Yeah. Good point. In which case, I will hold off.
Yeah, we got some wicked weak points this go.
Yeah.
Thalos, go ahead and roll combat 4.
Oof, 9.
That is not enough. 6, 3, 1, and 3. I see a lot of hits here. Did everybody get hit at least once?
That was pretty much all the weak points, yeah.
Yeah. All right. If you are taking the hit, add that to your narration. If your armor's taking the hit, add that to your narration. This thing just smashes and stomps. Kick it off for it.
I think For It overcomes his hesitancy and is like, all right, we got to do this. And he just runs in towards it, and it just swipes him like batting away an insect or a child, just launches him. So I'll probably take a mildly concussed and 1 ruin.
Keep it going, Halinka.
As we run up, Holinka reaches for the wand of fire, and Infern then is hit with that same smack. And as the fireball goes wide, Holinka is also lightly concussed and will take 1 ruin.
Thalos.
Thalos is a little distracted with trying to perform the ritual and waits a little too long, and the golem is able to connect, denting pretty heavily his sturdy helmet. And it takes him a minute to be able to pull it off of his skull.
Alicio, describe your attack, please.
So Alicio, like I said, he's a bit sluggish from the poison. In addition to that, he's a big guy. He's a lumberjack. He's big and strong. He's got this family heirloom, a long sword, and his normal combat there's not a lot of finesse in it. It's just, I'm bigger and stronger than most things I fight. Not in this case. So as he rushes in, the golem hits him with one arm, smashes his ornate cuirass, and as he tries to spin away from that hit, he gets hit by the second arm and takes a ruin.
Ouch. Well, actually, the one armor absolves all the ruins, so you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Okay,
one
good.
armor clears all of it. You could take 5 ruin and it would clear it all. Fantastic. Did anyone in their narration target the head? I don't think anyone did they? No. Bertram.
Yes.
How are you exposed to danger right now, facing the other golem? Which
So
you suddenly find yourself quite alone.
in taking this White Widow's powder, I've been told what it does, and that it's supposed to make me as big as my adversary that I will be sparring against. I'm really hoping that that's what it's actually doing, because I've dropped a little bit into a canteen, took a swig, and I've just run out full abandon, assuming it's going to be active by the time I get there.
You're going to first roll your weak point. Let's see what your weak point is.
3.
Okay. And then you are going to roll a single combat die for the one that can hurt you.
Copy. Here we go. It's a 1.
Okay. So you got a 1 on the table, and then you're going to roll 6 more for the White Widow powder.
Yeah. Got 11.
Fantastic. The White Widow powder will kill whatever fundamental life force animates this thing. What does it look like?
I think as I'm running, I start to get bigger and bigger and bigger till I'm the same size, and we clash as like sumo wrestlers almost, and we both just kind of crumble and fall apart. Perhaps like this golem is just kind of poofed out into debris and ash and smoke. And
so the Widow powder made you big. And
Yeah.
then you just like rammed into it. Oh, that's interesting.
And then
Okay.
kind of reverse of me is like you see me flying back and shrink as this golem is equally just dispersing in midair.
Please roll.
And
gold
when
11.
I land in the mud, I'm just like back to my normal self, but completely soaking in mud and probably half asleep.
Let's see if its gemstone head is worth anything after this. Please roll gold 11.
Here we go. Of course not.
Jesus Christ, that's a horrible. The die roller's being such a bitch tonight. the gold roller specifically. Fantastic. That's 0. You're still up to 2 as a group. All right, fantastic. You're now up to combat 5. Halinka, the honors are yours. If anybody needs to back out, now's the time to back out. You got to give your weak point to someone else. Take a look at your armor. Take a look at your ruin. Make sure you're good for the fight. All right, Halinka, go for it.
Alrighty. That is a 7.
Jesus Christ. with a 3, 2 2s and a 3, 1 3, 3 2s and a 4. I guess that's Thalos getting hit, correct?
I had a 1. I accidentally rolled twice. Alicio had a 3.
Oh, okay. Alicio has a 3. Oh, you had a 1. That's right. I see. Yeah. Fantastic. Alicio, if you are taking the hit, describe that. If your armor's taking the hit, describe that. Go ahead and kick off the combat.
Alicio is reeling from the impact from the hits previously, in addition to the poison, and basically just standing there trying to get his bearings, and over to the side sees Bertram grow giant and then blast back and shrink. It is just distracted and a bit out of it, and he takes the hit.
Just sideswipe you.
No armor.
Yeah. Take battered and bruised as a condition as well, for when you get ready to clear it. For it, keep it going.
I think 4 at this point, realizing we got to get to the head, has got his 24 feet of chain, is trying to get some chain wrapped around its arm or something so I could get lifted up close enough to get at its head. But it's really just jockeying for position. I can't do anything with a saber. I don't want to ruin it.
Targeting the head will reduce the endurance down to 9. Levi, or Kalinka rather, go ahead.
I think since the fight with the Golem of Caliban, and Kalinka realized that that specific construct was connected to her faith, she was trying to research, okay, what old prayer would work, and they'll try to chain a prayer to give for it enough leverage to actually get onto the dang thing, and then once that's done, we'll just run up and we'll go for a knee or something.
Thalos.
All right. Seeing that Forrest's trying to make the head more accessible with the chain, I'll try to dash up there with the warhammer and see if I can knock the gem loose.
And you're working away at that, and now we go to combat 7. If you need to back out of the combat because you have no more armor or because your ruin is too high, you can do so. You have to give your weak point to another character. But if you're staying with it, looks like I got thumbs up all around. Is anyone considering backing out? Alicio, are you backing out? Nope. All right. Halinka, actually, for it, why don't you roll this one? Combat 6.
All right, 6 or 7 of those.
What was it last time?
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 6.
It's 6.
Okay, 6.
Looking for
That's
9.
10.
10. Fantastic. There's 1 in there and a 6 in there. I don't know if anyone's. That's Halinka. That's Thalos. That's for it. There are some hits going on, but you will destroy it. For it, kick it off.
Yeah, I think For it gets that chain wrapped around its arm, and as it's lifting up to strike, he scales it kind of like Shadow of the Colossus style and starts running down and remembers leaping off into the thing. But when he does, his leather gambeson just gets caught on something and torn. And so he's basically got to fight his way out of his own armor just to start jamming into that crystal.
Thalos, you are you're weakening the structure around the crystal. What does that look like?
Yeah, well, Thalos is kind of trying to get to the head or where the crystal is with his warhammer. Blood's still probably in his eyes from having his helmet smashed last time, so he slips a little bit and probably gets banged by the golem before he gets there, but then gets a few good solid hits on it.
Halinka?
The golem will try to, as it keeps getting these hits on the others, Halinka will try that prayer again and will like clutch their amulet protection, and it does freeze the golem a little bit, but the amulet just shatters in their hand.
Alicio, finish it off. What does it look like when you finally defeat this thing?
Yeah, Alicio is dodging back and forth, zigzagging as he moves into the golem. It looks like that's planned, but it's really just because he's discombobulated. But that erratic movement makes it difficult for the golem to strike, and so he's able to get up to the head and just take that long sword and just jab into the face.
The crystal will fall out. The thing will be dispowered or unpowered, powered down. Alicio, go ahead and roll gold 9. Let's see if you get anything at all from this combat.
All right.
Listen here.
Unbelievable. What in the world?
A zombie had more.
I literally said in chat that I was bringing out my gold dice because I do not trust this bot. So.
I would like to spend my 4 gold tokens, my 4 hunt tokens to add 4 to the pot.
Oh, that's very kind of you. So you're adding to the pot then?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. The gemstone head will be worth 4 gold then in that case, bringing the total pot up to 6. Fantastic. Thank you all so much. I will see you back at camp. Two siblings shaped by moments of coldness, linked, repeated and deep. Whatever hell they fled from left its mark. Now they carry it with them, in action and in thought. Their names are whispered respectfully in crypts where nothing lives. Rumors of them run through jails where none escape. Their use is questioned in courts that condemn without appeal. They are secretly spoken of and feared in the dreams of the damned and the whispered speech of fearful kings. Holok Bifrozen and Echo Bifrozen, the leaders of the crows, stand amidst the 4 of you. Their ambush failed. The golems lay ruined. Zombies are being destroyed in the distance. But they have not fallen. You can see the bloody corpses of some of your fellow company members laid at their feet. Oh, look, sister. Here come 3 more company members. 3 more, strengthened by salt and iron, ready to fall to our blades. Yes, brother. 3 against 2. I like those odds. Echo Bifrozen, she fights with a Kasari Gama blade, hooked blade on a long chain. And her brother, Holok Bifrozen, fights with a monk's spade, which is a sort of upwards-facing axe spear. They are both wearing filthy furs, and they are covered in bog filth. They have bog rot clearly seeping into their flesh. Their hair is a matted, tangled mess. But they are covered in lots of blood from your companions. Obeha, Halinka, Basso, You turn to find Rias is no longer with you. Please tell me how you're exposed to danger and roll your weak point.
I think with the disappearance of Rias, I think Obeha believes that they may be next to disappear. So like they're more concerned with other things.
What is your weak point?
Two.
Halinka.
Halinka similarly is worried that Obeya is also about to disappear, and they are just run ragged and tired of losing people. So not the best headspace right now. +3.
Bazo.
Bazo thinks that Ria's Ilsmat reminds him of someone, and the disappearance of him right now in this moment, just after losing Asbel, is hitting him very, very hard. He is psychologically not ready for another fight. And the weak point is 4.
This is a combat 3. They are only an endurance 9. Abeha, go ahead and roll combat 3. That is a 6 and a 2 and a 2. That's 2 2s, Obeha.
Mhm.
I assume you're going to be marking armor.
Not yet.
Please describe the first part of the combat.
They are much quicker and they're very, very smart. They did their preparation for us, but we just had numbers on our side. So when the numbers are more evenly distributed, especially when you have, a sorcerer who probably is a little bit more unarmored than their compatriots, you go for the weak point, the weakest link. Just stab wounds, just quickly, just trying to get them down, aiming for critical points in various organs and whatnot, just to take me out of the fight, whether through just bleeding out or just sheer amount of pain.
Yeah, Halinka and Bazo, before you describe your parts, I'll tell you that after they make a quick effort to try to take Obeha out and in an attempt to sort of even out the fight perfectly, you'll notice that with the two of you, they're more like watching you and learning your approach, learning your technique. So Bazo, what happens?
Bazo goes barreling bodily into one of the attackers to knock them away from Obeha. Not trying to, if I kill the guy, that's cool, but if not, I'm just trying to get him off of Obeha right now.
As Echo goes for Halinka, they continue to use their relatively small size, bobbing, weaving, at some point just letting the attack fly over them, tackle them, throw her over them as Gerald goes for an ankle.
Remind me who Gerald is.
The small but vicious terrier that I have.
Oh, that's right, your dog. Yeah, fantastic. We'll come back to this combat in a moment. Rias, you were just there to face the Bifrosens, and then quite suddenly you're not. You find yourself in some sort of chamber or corridor. It's dark. It could be underground. There are no windows. There are sconces periodically on the wall, so you have a dim halo of light. But you're in these dark, masoned corridors, and you wander around for a bit. They're a little twisty. It's not really clear where the entrance or exit is. And you start to realize that there's someone following you in these corridors. You can hear them behind you. They have very heavy footsteps. There's a heavy, like, thudding as they follow you, and they're dragging something behind them. You can hear this on stone as they drag something behind them. What do you do?
I'm gonna turn around and look and see who it is.
Stepping into the dim light is a towering man, bare-chested, very muscular. He looks like he's 8, 9, maybe 10 feet tall. He's huge, rippling with muscle. He has a leather hood covering his face almost entirely except for the lower half, which shows his bright, wide, shining smile. And he's dragging this enormous mattock behind him, a weapon that looks like it could easily pulp you with a good hit. What do you do?
Reese will nod a couple times and say, I didn't want your stupid fucking blessing. I never asked for it. And then if it's approaching slowly, which it sounds like it is, I think Rias is going to begin taking off his upper garments and begin his mantra. My name is Rias Ilsmat.
Is the hope to do a beast transformation here?
Correct, yes.
So this is ritual to lower the endurance then?
Yes.
Okay. I like this. Take us through the risk roll.
I'm hoping to effectively assume a more powerful form, which in turn will reduce the monster's endurance. This will be his tiger form.
The only fail is it doesn't work.
Okay, well, if that's what could go wrong, then we move into... I have both transformation and I have my white tiger pelt.
Fantastic.
So I think I get a light die from there. It's a dark die because it's ritual. I'm interested in some devil's bargains. Sure, let's go.
You don't escape in time to help with any future Zoom calls in this delve.
Dropping a big hint about what's to come.
Oh. No matter what. I think no matter what, the youth would offer you would have offered you a path to a door to the Azure Archives, but he will keep that to himself from now on.
The shining youth was gonna like show you the way.
Just show you the way and then just like let the door close in front of you forever.
It's so horrible, but I love it.
No matter what, I think your transformation will leave you unable to speak for a while.
No matter what, you will only be able to see bad omens in the stars from now on.
From now on?
Amanda!
As long as Jason says goes for.
For a time.
Oh, man. Oh, those are all interesting. I'm going to go without. We're going to do one light, one dark.
One light, one dark.
Pair sixes.
6 dark. Your ruin goes up, sadly.
I do have the lucky coin.
What does that do?
Can I re-roll? I think just once per delve, you can re-roll a single 1 or 6.
So I assume you want to re-roll that 6 dark.
Yes, I would like to if I can. If I
Go
may.
ahead. Roll a single dark.
Sure. Roll. Let me just add a dark 1. And that does bring it down to a 2 dark, so it's a 6 light.
6 light. Please describe your transformation.
I think, yeah, Rhea sinks down to his knees and looks up at this monster, smiling, not youth anymore, and grows to not quite the same height, but a good 7.5 feet. We see his salt and pepper hair, which has a sort of tiger pattern to it, just sort of like grows and spreads down along his body. And when Rhea stands up again, he, I think, takes the spear and just kind of like drops it to the side. And stands and it's a god versus a monster.
Fantastic. Let's go back to the other fight with the Bifrosins. We are now at combat 4. Basso, go ahead and roll.
Combat 4. Let's go. That is a 10.
Nice. Did anybody take a hit?
I did.
I believe I did. 3.
What does that put your respective ruins at?
6.
No!
Please describe your death, Halinka.
As Gerald drags Echo Bifrozen by the ankle, Halinka will just kind of try to like stab at her, not quite getting through an armor, and Echo will simply just kind of stab Halinka through the torso, and they just like will not let go. She has to toss them off of her, and Echo will simply stand up, clean off the blade, and prepare for the next bout.
Bazo.
I'm taking the rest of the narration. Who got hit? Did you get hit, Basso?
I did, yes.
Are you taking ruin or armor?
I'm taking ruin. I'm at ruin 4.
Describe it.
I think I'm distracted watching Halinka go down. This is horrifying, losing so many camp members in one night. It's unexpected. And I think I just sort of stumble, and one of the assailants, whose name I can't remember, gets in a hit, a slam just on the side of my shoulder, knocking me down to the ground with a thud.
Obeha, you are going in for what looks like a decisive blow against at least maybe both of them. And they very quickly and easily allied your attack. They have completely internalized your attack patterns, and they communicate the fight and their knowledge to each other using a silent language that they've developed over the course of their entire lives with each other. You have to defeat them a second time, and they're harder the second time. They're an endurance 10 because they know you. They've got you figured out. And you suddenly know why so many of your fellow colleagues have fallen at their feet. You can run away, or you can go in.
I have 1 armor. I could go for 1 more round.
Going for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to be defeated a second time. You are, however, at combat 1, 2, 3. What would it be? 5 now? 5. But we'll come back to this. Don't roll it yet. Rias.
Yes.
He's an endurance 8 because of your ritual. Go ahead and kick it off. What does it look like? Roll that die.
Yeah. Combat 1.
Combat 1.
Oh, I don't have a weak point yet.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and do that.
Let's do that. Go. I was like, wait a second. It matches.
Oh no.
It's 5.
All right. Well, what happens in this first round?
So Rias has heard of this thing before, whispers around camp, and specifically hearing that it's mask. If you can aim for the mask, it can maybe affect the fight. It doesn't like having its master move. And so I think Rias rushes up and we see it like swing this giant cleaver. Rias slides under it and like scrambles up, reaches up and like tries to grab its mask. And we see this giant hand come and snatch Rias's wrist. And we just see it like slowly peel Rias's hand off. And he takes Rias like by the wrist and throws him, and Rias slams up against one of these walls so hard. We see like cracks, just a spider web of cracks, just like go out from behind him.
But you have identified the weakness, though, so that's good. The next round, he'll be an endurance 7. You've gotten it even lower. Go ahead and roll combat 2.
Good news, bad news. It's 7.
What is the bad news?
The bad news is I take another hit. Do I want to mark my armor? Because I have one.
I mean, it's defeated, so
yeah. I'll take the hit. So my rune goes to 5.
But it's defeated. Just describe what that looks like.
So I think we see Rias like sitting on the ground, just like dazed out of it. Like his eyes just kind of like the pupils are like slowly shrinking back down to a more normal size, and we see it come up to him and actually like pick Rias up bodily by the neck and just like slam him against the wall and just start choking and choking and choking. Rias is like pawing at him with these claws, kicking at it with his feet, and I think we actually see Rias go limp for a moment, and he slinks down to the ground, crumpled. And the god, the smiling thing, like looks down at him and maybe even gets down close. Because Rias is still like his chest is expanding open and closed a little bit. And we hear from the tiger's mouth, "My name is Basil Smart." And he just like gets up, smacks the hand aside, and just like takes the thing, rips its face mask off, and grabs its own cleaver, and I think like just punches it through the gut with it.
And you're back. You see the fight. You see a fallen Halinka. You see Obeha and Basso, like in the kind of getting their asses handed to them by the Bifrost siblings. But for now, they're at a combat 5. I will tell you, if you do not defeat them in this round, Holok Bifrost will pull out his magic item, and you don't want that to happen. Go ahead and roll. Good luck.
Am I rolling this combat 5?
You are not. You
Okay.
are not there yet.
Got it.
Okay. 10.
Congratulations. Did any hits happen?
Yes. But I'm going to mark armor.
Marking armor.
Please describe how you defeat the Bifrost siblings.
I think I run towards whatever one is closest to me, whatever is in arm's reach of Bazo's big arms, and I take my crushing hammer and I'm bringing it down on the head of this man thing, this monstrous human, and smashing its helmet in, smashing its head in. You see the arm of this being come up with a weapon and slash at Bazo. His shielding armor it shatters to a pulp, but Bazo doesn't stop. He just yells, "Where is Rias?" Smashing and smashing until there's nothing left of this thing's head.
Obeha, finish off the sister.
With those eyes that stare with calculating precision, already me bleeding out and whatnot. new tactics need to be applied, stuff that I have not done before. I take my cloak and use it as more of an aggressive tactic of like throwing it on top of like her head, grabbing her with my bare hands, fumbling for that acid vial later, and then pouring it where her mouth would be, because no one can survive having acid be eaten them from the inside out.
Rias, you don't get a gold roll for your combat, but you do get to clear that condition. And let's see what is going to be added to the pile from the Bifrost siblings. Please roll gold 10. Amanda.
I'm rolling physical dice.
No, we're rolling the die roller. I want the die roller.
Ah!
Amanda.
Oh no, not me. Oh no.
Gold 10.
You're doing this on purpose. Because you know that I do terribly. 1.
There have been worse rolls today.
True.
The gold pot is up to 7. I will see you all back at camp. Oh, also, you get that magic item as well. It is available to be taken. I'll tell you what it does later, but it's a sort of, it's a tattered, folded piece of tattered fabric. I will see you back at camp. You all can decide who keeps it. The crows attack. Hear me. Sorry, I messed that up. Hear me, crone. Hear me, O mother of Navask, who some call witch, but who I call queen. Grant me the power of this fallen Gesh, and cleave the way to the lands beyond, to the shadowed vale, to the negative realm of unlife. The company defeated the ambush by the crows. The zombie hordes were held back. Many people fell, but they were held back. The crows were defeated, except for one. The necromancer Zoloshika Vonderlength, stumbling across the battlefield, plunges her staff into Asbel's corpse. The wooden staff grows into a massive tree whose roots and branches tear open the very fabric of reality, tear open a portal to the land of the dead. The five of you are responding to this. Your goal here, very simply, is to close the portal. This is just a risk roll, and there's only one fail condition, which is if you do not pass the risk roll, then you must fight the true hordes of the undead from the other side. Now, that's a really hard fight, but not necessarily an impossible one. Granted, it's an endurance 13, but it can be brought down. So you have the option of just not dealing with the portal part of it and just going straight to the fight. But if you want to try to close the portal instead, I need to know what the plan is. And I need to know who's the principal die roller and who's going to be helping.
I'm more brawn than magic.
You have to imagine this portal being like, you have to imagine it kind of like being ripped open by like hands made by the roots and the branches of the tree, right? Jorvin, any ideas?
Jorvin kind of walks in the room or like wherever this is happening.
It's just out in the open. Yeah.
Yeah, just like looks around, just like he fully thought this was over. He was just like, "Oh, I guess we're still doing this." He thinks back to when he was like an apprentice to magician. He does have the lore skill. So I think maybe there were like stories of like a tree like this. There were probably hints at what people did to stop something like this, but it's just like hearsay, different things. There's no confirmation, but it's here now, so it's at least good to try.
This is kind of it. I mean,
Yeah.
If no one has a better idea, I think maybe this might be a good jumping off point. Anyone else have any thoughts? Bertram, Rias, Hughes?
We saw Vanderlith walk into the portal.
No, she's just we don't actually know where she got off to.
Oh, okay.
She just did this, and you're all responding to the presence of the portal now.
But she's not in the scene.
Not so far as you can tell.
This portal is coming out of a tree, or is it tree-like hands that are opening?
The hands are opening it. They're kind of ripping open reality.
Okay, so I can't just chop down a tree.
It's not completely out of. I don't know. I'm not totally opposed to that.
That was going to be my next suggestion. I am a literal woodcutter, and I would, if I got some backup and support, I could go try to hack this tree down.
Jorvin, is there maybe something in the lore that like indicates where you would strike the tree?
Yeah, guys, this is bad. Want to let you know this is real bad. The trees don't usually do this. Tree fingers, never a good thing. Writings of the past does say that much like our joints have like pressure points, weak points, things like that. If we hit the correct, for us, artery, for this tree, magic weird ley line thing, somewhere in the finger branches, we should be fine. I don't know if anyone had experienced tree cutting. I didn't bring an axe. I have a staff and my shield.
It sounds like Jorvin is maybe doing help here for whoever is going to be doing the chopping. Rias, Hughes, any additional thoughts?
I mean, I have the skill of rebellion, and this pisses me off, so I feel like I could help here, but I don't think I'm going to be like
you're
particularly
not the main
useful.
guy here, no.
Yeah.
Rias, any thoughts? There's a lot of danger in you being the main guy, Rias, because you're at Ruin 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do have oh, good.
Sorry. I do have like a magic bolt I can shoot it with if no one else wants to.
It sounds like Bertram is going to go hacking at it.
Yeah, we can do that too. Whichever one, yeah.
I feel like I'll hack the other hand. I'll be support because I'm not as good of a woodcutter, but I do have an axe.
So we can start with Bertram and kind of hacking away with Jorvin kind of pointing out like where and how, and also Basso helping with the actual axing of the thing. Maybe Hughes and Rias just back up in case this goes sideways. Is that a good plan? Or
have you seen how like lumberjacks, like one will hit and when he pulls back the other one hits, so there's just a constant like bam bam bam. Yeah, so perhaps Basso could be that second.
That's pretty good. I kind of like that.
I think Rias is both like watching the portal in case things come out of it. He's got a bow and arrow, so I mean he doesn't have to be like up front, but also similar with Gar earlier. If we don't see Zoloshika, she's out there, and I might.
Are you
start
hunting her?
I think so.
That's pretty good. Hughes, do you want to go on the hunting party then, or?
Oh yeah, I can. I've got some scent as a ritual, so I can smell her out.
That's fantastic. I love it. I think it's great. We'll pick up with that in a moment. Okay, so Bertram, you're in charge of the risk roll then. You got the text of the risk roll in front of you?
I will momentarily. Got it.
There is only one fail state here, so we don't have to worry about that part of it, but take us through the rest of it.
When you attempt something risky, or you attempt a risky task, say what you hope will happen and ask the GM and other players what could possibly go wrong. Then gather 6-sided dice. So what I hope will happen is we can fail this tree and close the portal.
Noted. No need to ask what goes wrong. There's only one thing that goes wrong. So
So I've got one light die for my blanking on my words. My occupation, and I have strength as my skill, and I have an axe.
Fantastic. So you got your one light die.
Yep. Devil's bargain. Or do I roll? Or no?
I'll make a devil's bargain. I mean, you could take offers from all of us. No matter what, I have an idea. I'm trying to think how I want to phrase it so that it's always true, even if you fail. But if anyone else wants to call theirs out, please do.
Because this is like a weird portal to like other dimensions or whatever, messing with it would be bad. No matter what, by destroying this portal, inspirations of Agino's art will spread throughout the land.
That's intriguing. I can play with that. I actually have a really good idea for that. And so this will be the case whether you succeed or don't. I think this works. That's interesting. I'm going to say no matter what, I'll keep it simpler and say no matter what, at least one zombie, the very tip of the spear, manages to get out of the portal.
I like Gino's art getting more powerful and more well known, which is going against my drive.
So. Yeah. So what is your drive?
To destroy all the art.
All the Gino's works.
Yeah,
good. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I can play with that.
Can I propose one? No matter what, whenever you perform your the backlash of destroying this, the sort of magical backlash, will interact with your memory of one of Agino's works, such that whenever you use your shell ritual, that image will appear on your skin somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I like that too.
They're kind of, the way I'm imagining this, they're kind of the same thing. So, because I like the way I'm interpreting both what Paul offered and what Gil is offering.
I think we can achieve what Paul is offering via what Gil suggested.
Right, exactly.
That's the manifestation of it.
Yay, collaborative storytelling. You've got one light die, two light dice now, and weirdly, I don't think you have to do a dark die yet, because you're just hacking away at a tree. So,
here we go.
Let's see how that goes. You'll see if you need the help from the others.
I'm gonna need some help.
Well, you have to add a dark die before you can take the help. So
you've
got to add a dark die and re-roll. So 2 light, 1 dark.
Definitely. All right. Do I roll before the help?
Nope. The help can only be. You can only get the help if you have a dark die.
There we go.
Oh, well, there you go. 6 dark. We're going to work out the scene. Everybody will describe their part of it. Your ruin does go up, Bertrand, so think about how that happens.
Yep.
I'm going to cut over to the others, though. So I like this idea of, what does the scent ritual do, Hughes?
It says, navigate a space by smell alone or follow the scent trail of a known creature.
Okay, I'll take it, because we know, Basso knows who Zoloshika is, so that I think that's close enough. Take us through the risk roll. Let's see if you can find her.
Okay. So for for a risk roll, what could go wrong here?
She finds you first.
Yeah, she finds you first. Yeah. Or you stumble into one of her traps.
Okay.
A lot of nods on that. I don't know if there's any other contributions.
Just like the scent is overwhelming. There's just so many dead bodies that it's just sensory overload.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, the obvious one is like you find something else, right? You don't find her.
Mm-hmm. All great ideas. Keep going, Gil or Hughes.
I think okay. Yeah, so I hope we find her. I hope that we can catch her unawares.
Sure. Yeah.
That'd be great. Okay. So then something I'm skilled in. Well, I mean my skills are food, so I have a distinct like smell palette. Also, I'm pissed that I have to do this and not be cooking because it's just so like there's so much stuff going on that I had to get involved.
I like the idea of your refined nose helping you with the scent ritual. You have one light die.
Perfect. I'll take devil's bargains.
I'm gonna actually go with my fail thing as more of a devil's bargain and say no matter what you encounter, like she's sent some zombies to kind of cover her tail, right?
All right, so that's 2 light die then.
Well, no, you can hear the other offers from the other players.
Oh.
I was also gonna go zombies.
Somewhere in the scent of these dead bodies is something that reminds you of your betrothed.
No matter what, you find them in a place that's dangerous for both of you.
That's interesting.
I like the scent of my beloved being in there. Maybe that's a distraction later.
Is that connected to your drive?
Yeah. Because
what's your drive?
Because my give my betrothed the present they crave.
Oh.
And she's like, and as I narrated in my campfire story, she's like a witch monster.
Oh. Okay.
So I could see an affinity between the sense of this Vonderlinth and my betrothed. So
2 light, 1 dark.
Okay. Let's do it. Okay, I got a 6.
The die roller's being very gentle tonight. Your ruin goes up, but you will succeed in finding her. Think about what that looks like. Think about how your ruin goes up. Let's check in with the rest of the others. All right, let's begin. Okay, so you're all arriving as the portal is being ripped open. It's not a danger yet. Jorvin knows what you have to do. I would even like to suggest that you can actually see the sort of like the sort of magenta glow of the magical energy like coursing through the tree, right? Like veins, like you described, Jorvin. Let's just have the scene. Like, what does this look like? We'll start with everybody just kind of say your part in it, starting with Bertram.
I think we come running up and I look at Basso and I say, "Are you ready to learn how to fail a tree?"
Now's as good a time as any.
We look over at Jorvin. Thoughts?
Jorvin is like a bit further away than you all, so he's like yelling. He's looking at a lore book similar to how someone would look like an instruction, like if you're making IKEA furniture. And he will be like, yeah, everyone, in case anything comes out of the portal that can kind of like fracture consciousness and things like that, I'm going to be looking down at the book. Describe to me what you see, and I will like kind of tell you what you need to hit. Okay?
I start yelling back. I was like, I see a tree with hands coming out of it, and there's weird bark veins and lights, and it's nighttime, and none of this makes any sense.
Yeah,
where should we hit this?
If you can find some sort of arcane sigil close to where the do you know what a metacarpal is?
I hit the
Oh.
first hand shaped thing I see on the tree.
Yeah.
And
that works too.
I say, Basso, let's hit this point.
Mhm.
So
I swing and I don't hit the same point. This is my first time doing this. I hit somewhere a little bit off, but it's pretty close. And I swing my arms back, ready to go again.
So we just take turns, blow by blow, chopping on the side of this.
Hughes, describe the process of using the magic to locate the necromancer, Zoloshika.
I think I think first I'm talking to Basso, who uh knows what this necromancer smells like. But it's like a somebody who's like a sommelier, like for coffee or something, where they go, okay, is it this smell? Is it this smell? Do you smell this thing? And it's just like sort of pinpoint he's going through, and we finally like land on the right one, and then he just starts like hoofing it with presumably Rios in tow to like just like starts following that. And I think it's just very sure because like it's just the magic is what's leading him. He's not, you know, uh so I think it leads him to wherever you would
Indeed,
have.
yeah. She is hiding in, essentially she's just hiding in kind of like a little copse of trees, a clearing in the middle of a copse of trees in the bog. And she's exhausted. She's spent basically all of her power to try to open this portal, and she's laying in the muck, pressed up against a tree. Rias, you probably can kind of bound up on her first, right? And she's very thin and pale. Her skin it looks like it's been pulled, like it's so thin, it looks like it's just like paper pulled over the bone, right? And she stinks of the swamp. Her hair is matted and covered in bog mud. And she kind of like is leaning up against the tree, and she says, so this is my end, eh?
I suppose so. Who are you?
I am someone who is not being paid enough. That's who I am. The foolish Bifrost siblings. They promised me much. They promised me the knowledge hidden deep inside the earth, down the pit, into the deep carbon observatory. But I suppose I shall never see it now, shall I?
Not today.
What do you do?
I think as we sort of round whatever tree line or whatever that as Rios is making his way to have this conversation, I pause because I have that reminiscence, and so I think I'm catching up as Rios does whatever he's going to do.
What are you going to do, Rios?
Oh man.
I'm going to ask her again. What is your name?
I am Zoloshika, servant of the Witch of Navask, medium of the underworld. And I can help you. She looks at you, Hughes. I can help you. I can help your company. My employers are dead. Let me join you. Take me to your company commanders. I'll tell them what they want to know about what they've found on the other side of the dam.
I think by the time Hughes gets up to Rias, like he's in full just like pissed that he had to leave the boar and his other thing, and I think he's just gonna stab this lady, like despite the
Rias, do you try to stop Hughes?
No.
I think I'm not really listening to the whole like thing. I'm just like, maybe I'm even more pissed off because I was reminded of my betrothed and how like I'm so far away from attaining that goal.
I think from Rias's perspective, we see like the tree trap, the corpse tree trap where the Weaver Knight was found and reanimated.
That was a nasty trap.
It was. And I think we see the first time that, day one of this event when Rias was marked by the crows, and we see maybe Gar and maybe some of the others like overwatching Rias helping save these people. We see the pirate captain getting shot by Gar's arrows. We see Asbel getting ripped apart and then reanimated by magic. And Rias just watches as Hughes just stabs her.
As she dies, she looks up at Urias and says, I shall send your tidings to your mother on the other side. And then she just is dead. Bertram, give me the final blow. What does it look like when the tree is destroyed, the portal is closed?
So the light starts to spread out of the tree as if it's actually about to finally fully open and we'll all be doomed to hell. And then I yell to Basso to hit harder and faster. And we go short really hard. And then I end up like kind of pushing my shoulder up against it really hard. And I yell to Basso, push. And we both push. And we end up like failing the tree, more like pushing over a gigantic wall. And it just kind of crumples and kind of explosion or an implosion rather of light kind of being sucked back into the tree.
And now the painting. This is so interesting, this devil's bargain we had. Kind of two devil's bargains. I would like to suggest that this tree is something that Agino painted in one of his great works. The tree it's a sort of Yggdrasil sort of thing where it's a tree that's meant to like exist at all times in all places. It's that kind of thing, right? That's why it's able to reach into the land of the dead. And Agino painted this tree, and indeed the painting has a similar power. And later tonight, when you go to take off your mail and your shirt, Bertram, you will see that Agino's depiction of this tree is on your chest. That concludes this delve. That concludes the Profundal Zone campaign event. And I will catch up with everyone back at camp.